Do you know someone, or are you personally battling a drug and alcohol addiction? Why are so many people addicted today? And why have so many people died as a direct result of this disease? If you've been affected by this problem and want answers like we do, then join us in our efforts to face this disease. Our purpose is to examine the truths, expose the lies, and uncover and provide resources to this affliction. Come, join us in this journey.
Here at Addiction and Recovery TV, we're here to tell you that there is hope and a new way of life from addiction. My name is Joe, and I just want to give a quick testimonial about my experience with drug addiction. I started out when I was much younger, got involved with narcotics at a young age. It certainly took me down quick, fast, and I had no control over it. I've been to many rehab facilities, detoxes, and eventually spending 2 years in prison, which was in fact the best thing that happened to me, because I learned that, until I was ready, I wasn't going to get the help I needed. I didn't ask for help, I didn't want the help, and until something happened for me, which I call was, a power greater than myself intervening, and of course the time in prison, I really needed to feel enough pain, and that's when my new past began. Because what happens is you get a new past, a past worth talking about. Everything in the old past it's there, you got to leave it there. And like I said, the good news is that we can move forward like myself. And today I'm living a life, beyond my wildest dreams. And it's all because someone, helped me and believed in me. And I believed in myself. And I'm here to tell you that it's possible for you too, if you or someone you know is struggling with addiction or any kind of ailment. And the good news is there's hope.
I was 26 years old. I was sitting in my truck in the parking lot of a movie theater getting high.
I was an outcast my whole life, I didn't know where I belonged.
Knocking my head against the wall over and over and over again.
So I came to Narcotics Anonymous. I heard a message that made my ears pop.
People who I can relate to and identify with. Managed to heal relationships, start families, and be happy with life.
Drug problem? We can help. We've been there. Narcotics Anonymous.
At Addiction and Recovery TV, we talk about raising awareness, and we also talk about the problems and situations revolving around addiction and recovery. And it's always important to remember that if you struggle in an area and you're looking for help or resources, there are plenty available. And sometimes it just takes picking up the phone and making one simple phone call that can make all the difference. So remember, we're always available, and we're ready to help you in any way that we know possible, and definitely lead you in the right direction, because along the pathway of darkness, there is a light of hope along those roads. So hopefully you will be open to see the light and walk in that direction. So if it's mental health, if it's addiction, even suicide, the help is always readily available. Just take that initiative to reach out and receive it. Welcome to Addiction and Recovery TV. I'm your host, Charlene DeChico, and with me today I have a special guest all the way from Dublin, Ireland, Mr. Paul Tracy. And Paul is an artist, and he is also recently been into some painting, but we're going to hear from Paul and talk to him about his story and his life as an artist. Hi, Paul. Thank you.
Hi, Charlene. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, at Addiction and Recovery TV, we talk a lot about mental health, addiction. We talk about trials and tribulations, hardships, not only in mental health addiction, and not just limited to substance abuse addiction, mental health, but just in general, life. And so you're actually one of a two-member or three-member band. Tell us.
2 to 3. It changes. We've got some stuff out as 3 Mad Stunts, and we've done some as 2 Mad Stunts.
Okay.
And then we've done stuff just on our own, we've done our own private, personal projects, and usually just poetry with little videos we put to it. And that's the art medium that I use with Michael, my partner in crime.
Of the 2 or 3
In
Mad
the 2
Sons.
Mad Sons.
You're in this band and you're in Ireland, and you guys just decide that you want to make some music, some
Well,
tunes?
what happened was we was more when we came into recovery.
Okay.
Initially, I've been in recovery many times, been trying to get that steadfast foot on the ground within recovery, and I battle with that. But I find like I have this energy that was explained to me once, that it's like neither creative or destructive, but it's both.
Okay.
And it's neither at the same time. And if I don't utilize this energy in a creative way, I will destruct. And that has been my living experience.
Okay.
So the thing with the band, the little bit of painting I do, the poetry and the writing, it's just me trying to utilize this creative energy.
Sure.
I find I'm more at peace when I'm doing something creative, you know.
Absolutely. So let's start then with the music. And
Sure.
you guys have a couple of songs out there on the internet, right? You can go to YouTube
We
under
have.
2 Mad Stunts or 3 Mad
Yes, you
Stunts.
can, and yes, we do, and they all, most of the songs reflect where we were at in our recovery. For example, we have a song, 3 for 50, One's Too Many, 3 for 50,
Okay.
and that's a little play on the slogan, One's Too Many, 1,000 Never Enough.
Okay.
3 for 50 is like the street thing for buying, when you buy a 20 bag in Dublin, usually the guy says 20 each, 3 for 50.
Okay.
It's just a known street thing. So we break in that recovery bit and that street bit and bringing it together. So one's too many, 3 for 50. That's the song. And it deals with the conflict. Knowing I should be in recovery, but finding myself in this situation, trying to score. Knowing I'm not a stupid man, I have intelligence, and yet intelligence is not enough to take me out of this situation. It's
Right.
precarious for me.
So, these songs, they're not only relevant to what you're going through, but they also, they're kind of a little jazzy too, right? They have a
Yeah.
little bit of spunk to
They
them.
have to be interesting, I guess. You know.
So, what's your riff? Do you have one line that you like the most that you say, or one that always sticks with you, or that you can relate to, even if it's not the line that you wrote? I mean, what kind
I
of?
hear you. Well, I'm just pondering that now. I don't think there's any specific line, because I'm still in the process of writing and discovering where I can go with that. But nearly every line was somehow related to the crisis. Do I have any particular? I like the title of the song.
Okay.
One's too many, 3 for 50. It about sums it all up for me. One's too many, but there's 3 for 50.
Yeah,
it's
so-
like,
Hey.
and that's the internal dilemma. And we kind of made a little fun of it, like, just by bringing it to light, by putting it in a song. And a lot of people related to it. And in a small country like Ireland, we got 78,000 views on Facebook on just that song,
Right.
And it's still growing.
How is the addiction problem in Ireland these days? I mean, would you say they have a good handle on how to treat it? I mean, getting it under.
We're very blessed, those of us in recovery in Ireland, to come from a nation that has plenty of practice in dealing with addictive substances.
Right.
Because as Irish people, we're very predisposed to liking our alcohol.
Right.
And alcoholism is a huge problem in the country. Today it's more drugs, but it's the same mindset
Right.
of these young people that are now taking drugs, that if drugs didn't exist, I would probably be an alcoholic.
Sure. Well, how does society look at or deal with the addicts?
I have to say we're very blessed in Dublin in some ways, because we've got a good nanny type state there. They do look after us as best as they can. It's not enough the help of a state alone. The person
Okay.
has to want to get well.
So is there help
There
available
is.
if the person
There
wants it?
is.
Yeah.
It's hard to get in somewhere. It's slow, but there is a process. And if you put your name down, you keep going and checking in with your counsellor and showing that you really want it. They usually make a space for you. You could wait 9-10 months though. That's the thing.
Okay. Do they have like DRT, drug replacement therapy for people? I mean, would you be strung out on the streets, or could you go to a hospital
You
and
could
get
go
treated
to,
for
you get
sickness?
methadone, for example, if you're on the street.
Okay.
Yes, you could go to a hospital if you're in any kind of health issues. Because we've got a health service in Dublin,
Okay.
in Ireland, and so yeah, well, they'll give us the methadone. They'll give us treatment places when they come up.
Okay.
But it's a big problem there. So
Sure.
there's an overflow of people that can't get to the resources because of the queues and the length of time.
Okay. Now, as far as the understanding of programs of recovery, and does the administrative forces in Ireland, do they stress the importance? Do they know that these fellowships and these programs are helpful?
Yes, for sure they do, because excuse me, I've seen in recent years that a lot of the programs to help people with drugs, even the state-sponsored ones, they've started to do NA, for example. They bring them into their detox unit, where originally they weren't associated with the fellowship, you know, up into the mid-80s, 90s. Then some of these while the state supplies places and does have a certain amount of beds, obviously not enough, you know, to deal with the problem in an ideal way, but they do their best. And they've started since the late 80s, early 90s, they've started to bring NA on board and facilitate like a room and a night where in the treatment centre or the detox facility, they now accept that NA is a powerful...
Or AA, do they have all different types
absolutely.
of AAs?
I shouldn't just zoom in on NA, there's AA, but just from my own experience, it's been NA, because I would be in a narcotic treatment centre.
Okay.
But yeah, AA and even I believe gambling, GA, Gambling Anonymous, and there are some other fellowships as well, that some of the more exclusive treatment centres, when they've got specialised problems, they would, they've taken all the Something Anonymous programs on.
It's been interesting talking to you, Paul, today. We're talking about the art and the music and addiction and recovery. What about if we talk a little bit about, you know, life purpose and spirituality? Because I also know that you've gone on kind of a spiritual journey, spiritual quest to kind of find your purpose in life. And we talk about #Destiny here at Addiction and Recovery TV, and understanding your purpose and really kind of being on this path where you're following after it. And so you've had some experiences and learning about spirituality. So how do you think this development of understanding your life and its purpose is playing into your art, and even just you know, your understanding of what it is to be human?
Absolutely. And well, I think my interest in spirituality came as a result of the problems I have, my issues in life. Why do I keep running for a painkiller? And in search of that answer, it became apparent that spirituality was the key to coming out of this, because I had a spiritual dilemma. And it was very basic. It's no bells and whistles. It's just down to I hadn't got self-acceptance, and I used on that.
So you say it's a lack of self-acceptance that really...
With me, 100% with me. It was all down to a lack of self-acceptance. So the solution seemed to be accept the self. And that sounds easy enough. My problem I was able to identify is I don't accept myself. And my solution was then to find a way of accepting myself. And in between the two of those things was the whole spiritual journey. Before I can accept myself, I had to come and look at myself. What was I accepting here? So before acceptance, I had introspection, looking inward. And I'd done that for years, using and not using, in recovery and then in relapse. But I was always on this, my gaze went from outward to inward, as it were. And while I'd be talking and looking out, my attention was, what am I feeling? And that was my simple practice. And it was a very powerful spiritual practice. Just checking in, what do I feel? I didn't have to know, why am I feeling this, or why did I react like that, or it didn't matter. It's just, what am I feeling? Recognition. So intuition, looking inward, recognition, validating the feeling, and acceptance. And in that process of recognition, introspection, and acceptance, that practice was enough. In that, then I found that as I come to accept myself, love presented itself. So I didn't have to find love and everything. The vibration of love is already our natural inheritance as human beings. And the only thing stopping me from connecting with that natural vibration that I should have was all the things I believed about myself, and they were negative. When I looked deeply in, I was able to identify things for what they were, see my truth for what it was, and accept it. And once I did that...
What is the truth?
Well, there's my truth, there's your truth,
Right.
and there is
Well,
their truth.
Right. Okay.
And they're all connected, I'm
Right.
sure. For example, I can only speak about me,
Mm-hmm.
but my truth was, what was it about myself I couldn't accept? It was finding that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was basically, I have a very gentle nature by nature. I'm a gentle person. But I grew up in a kind of tough area of Dublin. And to me, my gentleness was, which I recognised when I was quite young, but I thought it was a weakness,
Okay.
softness. And so I pushed away from these gentle, loving feelings I had a lot.
Okay.
With distracting myself as a young man. I would have had ADHD, but it wasn't diagnosed back then,
Right.
you know, but I had all the symptoms of it in hindsight.
Right.
So I was always looking for distraction because I wasn't able to sit with myself.
Mm-hmm.
And my big breakthrough became when I came into an understanding and acceptance of myself. I was able to sit with myself, and I can sit with myself now for hours and hours. I'm okay in my own company because I'm okay with me.
Okay.
Well, that's been a long journey,
Sure.
but yeah, in that process of self-acceptance, that loving vibration sort of presented itself, and it changed everything for me because it changed my perception.
Okay.
You know?
Right.
Yeah, and I didn't have to do anything. I only had to look and accept.
Okay.
I didn't have to attain or get anything outside of myself. Everything I needed for my sanity and my recovery was inside myself. I
Sure.
just had to find it.
Well,
Yeah.
that's a very uplifting, encouraging message. I think it's very simply stated. You know, self-acceptance, taking that inward journey and looking within, and just being okay with the skin that you're in, and then take it,
Absolutely.
you know,
Yeah.
to the
It
next
builds
level.
on
It
that.
starts.
Yeah.
You know, charity begins at home. Like just love,
Absolutely.
self-love.
Because
you know?
what can I bring to the table in any of my interactions or relationships or friendships? What can I bring to the table if I'm not good in me?
Mm-hmm.
So even in a relationship, for example, if I'm not good in me, I bring my brokenness to the situation.
Sure.
So I have to be first good in me, so I've got something
Mm-hmm.
to offer, you know?
Yeah. Well, we're going to look at one of the videos that
Okay.
Paul has done with the in the music world, and also
Mm-hmm.
check out some of these paintings that we're going to show. Just these are, Paul is saying he's a new artist.
Yeah,
These are just kind of like rough drafts. We think they're amazing. We wanted to share them with you.
Thank you, Sharon.
Yeah. So,
Appreciate
and
it.
Paul's going to. You're going to recite one of your poems
Yeah, I've got
for
a poem.
us, yeah?
Excuse me. I've got a poem that I wrote earlier this year, about spring, earlier on this year, and it's called Existence. And yeah, I'd like to
Sure. Let
recite
us.
that for you when you're.
Yeah, let us hear it. We're ready.
You want to hear it right now?
We're all ears.
Okay.
We want to hear it.
Excuse me. Bear with me. Right. So this is called Existence. I experience my existence as only I can, and though it seems a great distance since that all began, I'm in great resistance to formulate a plan that would give me the persistence to be a consistent man. The life that I live is of great contradiction, so you're out of the game if you come with predictions. Now they can't add this up, those mathematicians, but see, this admission of mine is no act of contrition. This life that I live is not one of submission. It's just that, well, I've never been able to realise my ambition, nor find myself in a secure position to ensure I procure a secure position in a purposeful life that I try to envision. But it's the same old news in the latest edition. It's the same old news in the latest edition. I'm scared to go to bed, for I have to awaken where love is lost and I'm forsaken. See, this is the void where my heart is breaking, crushing my spirit with the drugs that I'm taking, stressing myself with the recovery I'm faking. Yet messing with my health is the only discovery I'm making. Inevitably soon I have to get up. I grab some coffee, pour me a cup. It goes cold in my hands, I take barely a sup. See, living moment to moment can really be tough. When I try to seize the day, yet I'm feeling so rough. Yet I know that healing is about dealing with stuff. But inside, when my head's reeling, I find myself feeling enough! I ignite my glass pipe and inhale a deep puff. Yep. I ignite my glass pipe and inhale a deep puff. So here it comes, the deep black cloud, descending on me like a funeral shroud. Inside I want to scream out loud and shout, but I'm too embarrassed, ashamed and proud. Lost in the darkness, I can't find my way out. Lost in the darkness, I can't find my way out.
It's amazing.
Thank you.
That's amazing. That's just, I love that poem. And I saw it with a little, with the beats in the background.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that
it's
was
nicer with a bit of music.
No, I think the raw version is just
Oh, thank you.
fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Yeah.
So you have this poem, and you can see that. Is that on YouTube too, or just?
Yeah, that'd be like something I'd do, and I'd bang it onto Facebook or so. I haven't collected my stuff and start putting things together on YouTube under a channel yet, but I do it for the love of doing it, more
Sure.
so than the end product. And even the videos, every video that we've made and the 2 month stunts we've made have been done with just myself, Mick, and our other friends. I can't think of his name. Mark, Mick and Mark.
Mick and Mark.
And Mark comes in and out, you know, but there's me and Mick are consistently doing that. Everything we do, all the videos, they're made without a dime. You know, we do them on just a friend's camera.
Yeah.
Even an iPhone, we did the last
Yeah.
one, and we edited ourselves. We both did a little bit of media studies some years ago, Mick and myself, in different times at the same college. And yeah, we do it for the love of doing it. Again, it's just to be involved in a creative process.
Sure.
And then we end up with a little product at the end. We just stick it on Facebook, or Mick puts it onto a YouTube channel or something.
Right. Well, we're going to let you guys take a look at that and check it out. And it's Two Mad Stunts here on it.
That particular one is One's Too Many, 3 for 50.
One Too Many, 3 for 50. Two Mad Stunts here on Addiction and Recovery TV. Check them out. Here they are.
Thank you.
Standing on the corner just outside the block, doling out the brown and the green and the rock. Time is money and it's ticking like a clock. Stanley in my pocket cause I can't afford a Glock. Someone tried to rip me and they got a real shock. Had to put him out on the ground, headlock. Neighbours passing judgment like I'm sitting in the dock. I got a quarter for your daughter and some citric in my sock. The fear traps me here in this concrete cell block. I tried to go to school but I couldn't concentrate. All I seen at home was a constant love-hate. Rolling round the streets I was looking for a mate. Drop one of these, yeah, you're gonna feel great. Seize your destiny, gotta make your own fate. The first one's free, yeah, it's what we call the bait. 20 years later, I'm a dropout retrobate. Standing on the corner, looking real shifty. One is too many, 3, 4, 50. If I see the coppers, then I gotta move quickly. One is too many, 3, 4, 50.
Stand back, relax, get up, sit down. Floating around this ghost of a town. My hood's tied up, but my head is down. I should be hitting a meeting, but I'm looking for a brown. Come on boys, now don't be slacking. You know what I want and I know you're packing. Hand it over and let's get cracking. I'm running out of time, I gotta get back and shit, the cops dropped the gear. This happens every time I score in here. Should've gone to a meeting then tried to share. Could be talking about my feelings and release the fear. I should know better, I mean I've got the knowledge. But I stand around here with an empty wallet. I could be looking for serenity, peace and solace. Instead of goofing around here, man, act the bollocks.
Standing on the corner, looking real shifty. One is too many, 3, 4, 50. If I goof off, then please don't shift me. One is too many, 3, 4, 50. If I could be a better man, just pull myself together, man. Find a path, a different plan, change the sunny weather, man. Don't ever say I never can, cause nothing lasts forever, man. Let it go, no clever scam, I'm always on this corner sham. And actually could use a little levity to lift me from this brevity. I'm hated by society, I watch too much pornography. I think I need some therapy, better life through chemistry. You must be fucking kidding me.
Mother of God, like holy Jesus. Don't like scoring from these head cases. Deal with this shit on a daily basis and seal the deal with familiar faces. Up and down, around the bend, back to front, around again. Inside out, I'm on the mend. No, I'm not, I can't pretend.
So do you want these or not?
Yeah, go on, give us some.
How much have you got?
47.50.
Ah, man.
I'll catch you tomorrow.
Standing on the corner, looking real shifty. One is too many, 3, 4, 50. Heading to I know they'll dip me. One is too many, 3, 4, 50. Would love to change my life, but I'm drowned in pity. One is too many, 3, 4, 50. Pain in my bollocks with the sewer of a city. One is too many, 3, 4, 50.
Have you ever felt like you're unsure of the future or think that your past is going to stick with you? Do you have feelings of hopelessness, helplessness, and maybe no one believes in you or you don't believe in yourself? Well, my name is Joe, and I'm here to tell you that if you check in with Addiction Recovery TV, we have plenty of stories of people like that, including myself. We ask that you tune in, contact us, and get to know stories of other people like yourself to give you some hope and some feedback and a new outlook on life and how to move forward, because it's possible.
Many people have been touched by addiction, either directly or indirectly. Join us as we educate and break the stigma associated with addiction. Together, we can start a revolution and bring the disease out of the darkness and into the light. Great.
I was 26 years old. I was sitting in my truck in the parking lot of a movie theater getting high.
I was an outcast my whole life, you know, like I didn't know where I belonged.
Knocking my head against the wall over and over and over again.
Until I came to Narcotics Anonymous. I heard a message that made my ears pop.
People who I can relate to and identify with. Managed to heal relationships, start families, and be happy with life.
Drug problem? We can help. We've been there. Narcotics Anonymous.